Welcome to YouTube land, Facebook land, not today. Only YouTube land today, all right? Welcome, GAAQ parents from grade 6 to grade 11 to the course selection process live stream, all right? So we are here today with our fearless leaders of upper school. First, we have Mr. Gregory, who is our upper school principal, and then we also have Mr. Wessel, who is the upper school assistant principal. So today is more of an informative session just for you, so we can go ahead and figure out what this course request form is all about and the importance of selecting these courses. So the PowerPoint, I got a chance to see it. I really like the content. I think you'll like it too as well. So without further ado, I'm going to step aside, everyone, and I'll let Mr. Gregory introduce himself, Mr. Wessel introduce himself, and then we'll start the show. So go ahead, Mr. Gregory. You can start us off.
Yeah, perfect. Welcome, guys. So this is a pretty important sort of informational talk today. I know a lot of parents ask this about the course requests. A lot of students want to know, well, what am I doing in 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade so that I can get into this college, that university. And I know people are thinking about that even in middle school. So this is basically just going to be a brief overview of what we're offering for next year and a few new changes and a few new courses that we're going to be offering. And then I'm going to show some examples in high school of what a layout for a typical student is, and just open it up at the very end for some questions and answers, and hopefully can answer any of those specific questions. With so many options and so many choices for students, there really is like an unlimited amount of ways you can do stuff, especially in the high school program. So I hope we can get through and let you know exactly what to do, and you have a better idea of where you're going and what you want to do in high school. The AP night is tomorrow night, so like I will briefly touch on some of the AP courses and what that is today. But tomorrow we're going to go back into more detail about what we're covering next year AP wise and what is an advanced placement course, all of that, because I know a few parents have questions about that. So the first, I'm going to go through middle school because it's honestly the easiest, and then I'm going to go into high school. The most important thing is going to be what this video here is a YouTube video that I've got on the screen. I'm not going to play it right now, but I'm going to send that out in my bulletin on Thursday to students and parents. You can click that. It's a 2-minute video. It just basically shows you where you find this course request form for next year. And the course request form is basically you picking the subjects that you want. You go in, follow the instructions in the form. It's all very self-explanatory. And I'm open for emails if anybody has any specific questions about it. But that will go live and it's open on this Thursday, April 29th. And that video I'll send out on April 29th to assist with anybody who's lost and is like, I don't know where to find it. Most of the students have done this from last year, so they'll know where to find it. Students and parents have access. So parents, you guys can fill it in for your students, and students can fill it in. I always recommend that students do it so that they have a bit more ownership, a bit more responsibility, especially in 6 through 12. That's what we're sort of starting to look for, that responsibility component. All right. First up, what's new with middle school? So we're making a few changes that are in the best interest of our student body. And these things we're thinking about, we've had plenty of meetings, loads of discussions about it. The study skills course is one that is very much an initiative that we're going to be pushing next year to try target some of the issues that we're seeing this year, which is the sort of what's the word? Executive functioning, sort of being organized, reading levels, those things, making sure that students are working. The map data we've used has shown that there's been a drastic, and this isn't just our school, it's not just us, but worldwide because of COVID, that the reading level has dropped significantly. And that's a very difficult thing. If we have a student who's in grade 8, but they're reading at a grade 5 or a grade 4 reading level, they don't have the access to the actual knowledge and information to really do well in those classes. So next year, what we're going to do is we're going to make it mandatory for students who score maybe 2 grade levels below to take this study skills class, and they'll take it all year. We'll do intervention in that class. We'll have an intervention person pull out the students and work with them one-on-one and try to bring up their reading level so that by the time they get to high school, we've really increased or improved their reading level so that they can get the access and be more successful in high school. Now, it will impact. The one negative of this, and it is going to be mandatory for those students, is that it will take away an elective choice from them, but there is still plenty of room within the schedule to make a choice and to pick something that they're very interested in. All right. Along with that, you can see it as a pro or con, but we're no longer going to make PE or physical education a mandatory subject in middle school. It's going to be an elective choice. Again, if students are interested in that, there's plenty of space, and we should be able to get 50 students within each grade level into PE. So if students really want to take PE next year, they can make that, and that's one of their choices. It goes with the study skills class. To make space in the schedule, we needed to reduce something, and that was PE. So that's one thing. And then we have a few interesting new courses that I'm really excited about. Entrepreneurship is going to be taught by Miss Tracy next year, which is basically like a Shark Tank sort of business class where students get to stand up and do presentation, work on their presentation skills. It's a really interesting concept that Miss Tracy is very passionate about, and I'm really excited to add it to our elective list for next year. So students can pick that as well. And then we've restructured the music program in high school and middle school over the last few years. So one of the things that the band teachers sort of needed this year was an intro class in order to get into the middle school band, rather than having beginner instrument players in that middle school band class. So next year we're going to have a middle school band, which is going to be grade 7 and grade 8. Intro to woodwinds and intro to brass will be 6 through 8, but it would predominantly be probably grade 6 students who are learning their instruments. But if you're an incoming grade 8 student and you've never been in band before, you'll probably go into intro to woodwinds or intro to brass in order to learn that instrument so that you're ready for a band class. All right. And the applied music program isn't going to change. We've had that for 2 years now, so that's going to be in again as well. And then as I state at the very bottom there, electives may vary with grade levels. We've had some really good success with that, especially in high school, but also in middle school. Some of the drama classes have 6, 7, and 8 grade class students in them this year. And it's nothing to do with, those elective classes are always at that entrance level, and students can easily work together on multiple age groups. So the most important thing is probably this page for middle school parents who are listening. You basically have to select the maths course, and the reason I have an asterisk beside that is, in grade 6, everybody takes grade 6 maths. That's easy. But then using the map data and teacher recommendations to get to, we filter them in grade 7 into either the pre-algebra class, which is the advanced class, or regular grade 7 maths. And likewise in grade 8, would they go into algebra 1 or they go into grade 8 maths. Now the algebra 1 class, I must always remind parents, algebra 1 is the only high school course that we offer in middle school. It is a high school credit. It will go towards their transcript. It will go towards their GPA. It is something that colleges and universities will see on our transcript. So people going into that need to know that it's a serious course and that they need to be at a good level if they want to be in that advanced maths class. Social studies, English, science, they're all general. So we'll have a grade 6 social studies, a grade 6 English, grade 6 science, grade 7 social, etc., etc. And then you get to pick your choices. So it depends on the student. Again, if you're an Arabic student, you have to take Arabic and Islamic. Of course, that's mandated by the Ministry of Education. But then you'll also have 2 other choices that you can make. So an Arabic and Islamic student can take Arabic, Islamic, PE, and if they're really interested in drama, they can take drama as well. Now, if we mandate that they have study skills, that Arabic and Islamic student would take Arabic, Islamic, the study skills class to improve their reading, and then they could take one other course. So there's always going to be a choice, no matter what or what type of student you are, you get to pick an elective of your choice. I'll take a pause there for a second, just because I'm about to go on to the high school. Is there any specific, Justin, middle school questions in the group chat? parents, if you're listening now, this is probably a good opportunity to put a question in.
Yes. So there's no questions at this moment, but I will reiterate again, parents and students, because there's some students here on the live stream as well. This is your time to be in the YouTube chat to type in any type of opinions, questions, feedback that you have based on this presentation. At the end of the presentation, this is when we'll take time to review the information or the questions or things that are in the YouTube chat at the end of the presentation. So again, please use the YouTube chat to provide your feedback based on this information throughout the live stream. But at this moment, Mr. Gregory, nothing at this time.
Perfect. And I'm going to share this video along with the slideshow and all of that this week in my message to students, so they have access to that at the end of the week as well. So appreciate it, guys. Please let me know if I need to slow down at any stage. I like to talk quick sometimes. So on to high school, which is where it gets complicated. But let's talk about first what's new in high school. AP courses, so a little bit different this year. All of the students who want to take AP courses will need a teacher recommendation. Teachers will use map data, the current grade books, students' attitude, PSAT scores, basically anything that the teacher can see or approach from a student point of view or data point. They will use that in order to give a teacher recommendation. So the AP courses won't appear on students' forms this year unless they've been recommended to take an AP course. So they won't even see the choice on their list unless they've got that teacher recommendation. So I'll speak more about that tomorrow and about how to get the teacher recommendation and which teacher to ask, etc., which can be a little bit complicated. But for example, if you want to be in the AP English class and we're going to offer it in 10th grade next year, 10th, 11th, and 12th. If you want to be in that AP English class, you need a recommendation from, guess who? Your English teacher from this year. So either Miss Garcia or Mr. Miller. So that's one example. At this moment, unfortunately, and this is the only thing I'm sort of upset with about next year, but we'll definitely consider moving it into in future years, bringing it back. But we won't be including drama in the high school program. We have some sort of element of a drama course next year in high school, but we're just going to move that back for next year. So the new opportunities, which is where this drama thing is going to go, is we're building on the success of the coaching elective that we had this year, which was an invite-only class with Mr. Gadd. We had 15 coaches who helped the PE department, and they ran sports day. They help with teaching PE lessons throughout the school, K through 12. It's been a really good learning opportunity for them. And we're going to build on that for next year. We're going to offer coaching too. So if some of those coaches are in junior year this year, they can take it next year again and build on their coaching practices again. We're going to have a student teacher aid, which I'll explain more in person with the students in assembly. But essentially, any grade 12 student who's interested in being a teacher aid for some sort of specific subject that they're really passionate about, i.e. if they're in art and they're really good at art and Miss LaRue agrees to have them, they can be a student teacher aid next year. It takes a course off them, gives them that pressure off, and they get to teach and be a teaching assistant with that teacher. So it's going to be every subject. It's a bit new. It's a new initiative, but we're excited about it. And then that's sort of what the drama student assistant is going to be, which is going to be with Miss Tracy and to help with the middle school program and running plays and all of that. I know some guys are really passionate about drama, so we wanted to offer something in the high school. So if they really want to, they just need a teacher recommendation from Miss Tracy, and they can be a drama student assistant and they can help teach classes. They'll work on prop and set designs, etc., things like that. More information about those 3 specific classes will be given to students in person. Again, they're going to be invite only, so they need an invite from the teacher who's in charge of it. But they're a really good sort of gifted, program that we're offering in the high school. New courses for next year. We're replacing calculus for next year with statistics. We feel like the statistics course, more of our students need a stats course. That's going in with like AP seminar and AP research, and a lot of our AP courses where stats has been used. So we feel like statistics is a more valuable course than the calculus. That does not mean that we're not offering AP calculus. AP calculus will be offered, but just regular calculus is going to be replaced with stats for next year. Intro to AP music theory. We're going to see if there's any interest in this. But we noticed this year that our AP music theory students needed a little bit more time to get up with the content and the curriculum. So we're going to offer this course, and hopefully we have some interest so that it's a sort of a step just before they take the AP music theory course. And then replace an Art 2, again, building on that concept of trying to get our students ready for those AP courses. Students will take Art 1 first, and then after Art 1, they get to pick. Rather than just going into a general Art 2 class, they get to pick whether they want to go into 2D art and design or 3D art and design. And then that will really help them, gives them a nice platform then to pick an AP course after that. And then a new class, which is going to be in grade 11 and 12, is research skills, which is based on the AP research program, but it's just going to be taught at a sort of normal level. And it's again about that research skills, doing bibliographies, researching some sort of study or focus that they're really interested in. Again, if we get enough interest in that, that's definitely something that we want to offer for next year. So now I'm going to go in, that's what's new. Just a brief slide here about the graduation requirements. It's there, you can have a look. We need 4 English, 4 maths, 4 social, 4 science, 2 global languages, 2 PEs, 2 fine arts, and 2 student choices over their time here if they're coming in 9th grade. And again, if you're an Arabic nationality passport holder, you need to take Arabic. If you're an Islamic or if you're a Muslim, you must take Islamic education. And all students take Qatar history in grade 9. So that's just our basic overview of the grad requirements. There is multiple ways to meet these requirements. And I'm going to try to show sort of 4 different versions of that and what that is, but there is so many more. I am happy to have meetings with parents or students if they want to go over what their courses are and what they're looking at. I know Mr. Wessel is, I know our counselor is, there's loads of people to talk about these things. And so let's get started on that. So I just did an example of what an Arabic student schedule would look like, 9 through 12. I love art, so I sort of made this from an art perspective if I was an art student. And this is just taking regular sort of courses and getting that regular American diploma without any AP courses. So there's no AP courses included in this. It's just a basic diploma, which is perfectly acceptable. We've had students get into great universities and colleges without any AP courses. So you have all of the subjects in white would be sort of mandatory in their first grade 9 year. The yellow is where their selections come in. Because I like art, I picked Art 1 in grade 9. I've completed Art 1, I'm really happy. I go in next year, I take 2D art. I then have 2 options because I finished my PE credits. So I pick French 1 and I pick 3D art in grade 11. And then, I'm over the art. I've done enough art, and I didn't like the French, let's say, in grade 11, and it wasn't interesting to me. So in grade 12, I decided to try Information Technology 1, and I want to be a student teacher aide because, I have success in the art group, and Miss LaRue really likes me. So I'm going to be her teacher aide for that year. So that's a very bland example of what a normal Arabic schedule would look like. You've got English every year, you've got a science credit every year, you've got a social studies credit every year. You can see in the maths over, you've done algebra 1 in grade 9, you've done geometry in grade 10, you've done algebra 2 in grade 11, and you've done statistics in grade 12. So that's a nice maths course. You've done a maths course every year. Very helpful. All right. Now let's go on to what might seem scary to some other students and even to myself. But if you were an advanced Arabic student and you wanted to take the really, really competitive AP program with the AP capstone diploma, this is what it would look like. I would suggest taking AP Human in grade 9, getting 1 AP course in there, and take a normal elective like applied music or whatever. Grade 10, just go through the motions. Maybe if you're interested in psychology, you're going to need to have AP psychology. If you're thinking about taking AP psychology, I recommend taking psychology before it. Take psychology in grade 10, and then in grade 11, you take AP psych And you can see there, you've got AP English, AP Psychology, and AP Seminar in grade 11. And then in grade 12, you've got AP Physics, AP European, AP Calculus, and AP Research. So you've gone from 1 in your junior year. In your freshman year, you take nothing. Then you take 3 in grade 11, and you take 4 in grade 12. Taking the AP Seminar and the AP Research means that you can get the AP Capstone Diploma. All you need then is an additional 4 courses, AP courses. So you could cut one of those AP courses. You probably don't have to take AP European History. You could probably take regular European in grade 12, and you'd have enough to get the Capstone Diploma. But this would be a very, very competitive student transcript if colleges and universities seen it. And then again, just the reminder is the grade 11 and 12, there's a library class, and that's a non-academic class. There's no grade for that. That's just a study hall period where students can sit and study. We recommend, I only usually give it to the students who have multiple AP courses or have a heavy load. So if you do challenge yourself, I am willing to give you that library class. Mr. Tyler, anything? Good?
We do, but I don't know if you want to address at the end.
Yeah, we'll wait till the end,
Or
and
now,
I'll probably
yeah.
come back to these slides because I just got the 2 more slides, and then we'll move on.
Yeah, we'll
so
address the question at the end. Yeah.
Yeah. We've got, that's the Arabic students who are mandated to take Arabic and Islamic. This is a non-Arabic student schedule. A little bit more choice, obviously, because they don't have to take Arabic and Islamic. But again, still, as always, there is choices, no matter if you're Arab or non-Arab. Grade 9, they get 2 choices. This is just a normal schedule. They're interested in art and band for this student. He takes art and band in grade 9, band and art in grade 10. Grade 11, he realizes he really likes PE, and he's finished his French electives, but he still thinks having French is good. So he's taken coaching as that extra elective for PE in grade 11 and in 12. He's taken French for grade 11 and 12 because, you know, it's good for universities and colleges to see an extra language. Arabic is one of those languages as well. It doesn't matter what the extra language is. Having bilingual, 2 languages is always good for university college applications. And this student has then taken, he's taken AP, 2 APs, which is okay, normal level, but he's challenged because he's good in the art class. So that's an example of a non-Arabic student schedule that's very light. And then I've done, obviously, an advanced non-Arabic student schedule, which looks like this. Bit more spread out than the Arabic student, but he takes AP Human. He's fluent in Spanish, so why not takes AP Spanish language in grade 10. In grade 11 then, he takes AP English and AP Chem and AP Seminar, does AP European, AP Calculus, and AP Research in grade 12. Again, has the library classes, so has a lighter load, and has plenty of AP courses to get the Capstone Diploma. Honestly, doesn't even need to take all 6 of those AP courses apart from the AP Seminar and Research. Could cut chemistry and could cut calculus and do like a stats course in grade 12, and could do just regular environmental science in grade 11 and would still meet the requirements needed to get that AP Capstone Diploma. But again, I just wanted to put in a very advanced student what an example would look like. So that's that. This is the timeline. Ongoing is right now, teachers are doing it, and they will be doing it throughout as students go and talk and be like, Mister, why don't I have an AP English, recommendation from you? That teacher will then change it. So, you can email your teacher, parents can email teachers if they want. Just, I want those conversations to be productive and honest. I would hope that if you email and the teacher says, listen, I don't think your student is at that level, that parents accept that. It's sometimes hard to hear. Maybe not, they're not ready this year, but maybe they're ready the year after. April 29th, which is this Thursday, is when I'm going to open the request forms and parents can go in and access that. May 20th is when the request forms will be closed, because that's when me, Mr. Wessel, my team, will go in and we'll review all of the student choices and approve them. And then June and July is when myself and my team will go over and make the schedule and build it using scheduling software. We optimized it last year and we had 96% of the students get all of their choices, which is really good. Honestly, they usually say it's only about 91 to 90% of students get what they want. But we've managed to get lucky the last few years. So I'm hoping to have a similar success rate. And that's why in the course request form there is backup options, just in case you don't get what you picked. And then in August, that's when students will get their schedule, and we'll do it on the first day, of course, in the orientation. And I just want, this point is important to me because of my stress level from the beginning of this year. I will not be making that many changes at the beginning of next year. So if you pick IT right now and in September you're like, well, Mister, I've changed my mind. I want to be in band because my friend is in band. I'm not going to be making that decision. So just there'll be obviously very rare extenuating circumstances where students need to change courses. I'm still going to be doing that, of course, but I had maybe 75% of the students come back to me in September this year and want to change their courses, and we don't have the bandwidth to do that again at the beginning of the year. So please, when you're filling this in, this is what you want, and that is what I'm going to try to get you. Please don't change your mind. It can be quite frustrating. And then just the last screen is me and Mr. Wessel's email addresses. If you have questions that we don't answer in the talk here, please just let us know. We're available anytime. We get back within 24 hours. Obviously, the Eid break is coming up and we're both going to be on vacation. So please, consider that. But we will get back to you as soon as we can. So that was 25 minutes of me talking. So I'm questions and answers now, Justin. If there's been any.
Yeah, we have quite a few. I appreciate the parents and students with all these questions. I really do. Let's go with the first one. Zainab, how can study skills course benefit a middle school student?
So it's going to be, we had a bit of a model this year, a basic model of it, and started to build on it because it's just a new thing for us. But next year, the idea would be that the study skills course would work on their executive functioning, and they would work on their map skills. We'd have some sort of targeted map skills growth things that we taught during that. We'd also work on their organizational skills, give them the extra time to get some assignments and stuff in that a lot of our middle school students struggle with. And then we've also going to have an IXL subscription next year that will be used in that classroom that builds on reading. And again, it's, reading, some parents may have heard of the DEAR program, drop everything and read. And that's something that we're interested in introducing next year in the advisory that we're considering. But that could also be used there. It's just students need time reading to improve their reading time. And really that's what that study skills class is going to be about. Along with that, we're hoping to have an interventionist. So that interventionist will target in that class students and pull them and do one-on-one with them to try improve their reading skills and do really targeted intervention over a 6 to 7 week period. Research has shown that has really worked. So I hope that answers the question on that.
I would just add to that we do all these external assessments, things like the MAP test and the CAT4, and it provides us with a lot of data. And Mr. Gregory touched on the fact that what that data is showing us is clear. There's a section of the student population at the school that could really benefit from zooming in on some very specific skills and sort of catching up. And that is where this is going to benefit a middle school student. And in the middle school is a perfect time to do that because they're still sort of the training ground before they get to the big leagues up in high school. So it's going to help them catch up if they've missed anything out or if they sort of fallen behind a little bit. And I'll just reiterate that reading is key here.
All right. Really appreciate that in-depth answer to that question.
We're going to go
on. It really is a good question. We're going to go on to Mr. Mustafa. Now, this is a 3-part. All right. So just bear with me. It's 3 parts. So he was initially saying we need this in the flow chart if possible. But then we went on and I was asking him to clarify. He said how to select the course for students going from grade 8 to grade 9. Said it will be a good selection for students who will go for college. So what do you think about having this information in the flow chart?
That's what and I didn't show it in this video, so in fairness, but the course request form is a flow chart in a way. It will show exactly where you're meant to go and what you're meant to do. And again, because there's so much variety in the upper school about like electives and stuff. Like I think for a high school, like a grade 12 student, there's 60 elective choices. You know what I mean? With all of the AP courses that we offer and whatnot, it's very hard for me to make a flow chart that's easy and it shows you what. But I can set up a meeting. We can set up a meeting. We can talk. We can go through the specifics. We can talk with, I think it's, Abdul Rahman maybe, his interests and whatnot, and do all of that. But if not, the course request form itself will break down exactly what you need to pick and where. It's very self-explanatory.
Okay. All right. So thank you so far, Zainab and Mustafa. We're going to go now to stop motion. For middle school, how many electives can a student take? 2 or 3?
It will depend on the student. So if he's an Arabic and Islamic student, he has 2 choices. If he is a non-Arab and doesn't have to take Arabic and Islamic, he has 4 choices.
All right, good. All right. And then we're going to go on to Reza. Can students take different language courses between grades? So Spanish in grade 6, French in grade 7.
Yeah. Honestly, Jeff, you maybe agree with me on this one, but there's 2 ways to think about it. You took in grade 6, you didn't like it, you want to try French, no problem. I recommend that in middle school. That's where they're still learning, they're still picking. And the only argument to that would be the benefit of consistently doing Spanish in middle school, so that when you go into grade 9, that you've got a lot of Spanish, so you can do well and get a good GPA and a good score that year. But yes, you can. Is the simplest question. You can switch from Spanish to French, grade 6 to grade 7 if you wish. If there's enough in the course request form, you can take Spanish and French, depending on what you take. So, yeah.
Yeah, being ready for those courses in high school is important, but especially if a student hasn't taken any foreign languages and they're coming in, if they try one out and it just doesn't fit well, then yeah, it's still there's still room, there's flexibility there.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Reza, and thank you, Stop Motion, for your questions. We're going to move on now to Zainab has another question that says Ahmed is a Canadian. Does he have to take Islamic?
Nope. The only people that have to take Islamic would be Muslim students from Arab countries.
Mm-hmm. So just something that's really important to remember here is that if he's Canadian but registered as a Muslim, like when you fill out the QID form and all of that, I'm pretty sure it asks you your religion. You got to put that down. If he's Muslim, then he doesn't have an option. He has to take Islamic education. And if he's not registered with a Canadian passport, because maybe Ahmed has a Canadian and a Jordanian passport. If it's registered with that Jordanian, then he's going to have to take Arabic too. So it's something that we really try to inform parents on before they get to that stage. Like maybe you don't want them to have to take Arabic because they've grown up in Canada and isn't ready to do that. Then it's an important consideration.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. All right. Thank you, Zainab. We're going to move on to Yana. Will the high school counselor assist students with which classes they should take to keep a student on track for attending university?
It's a common thing. The high school counselor would meet. They're called minute meetings. She does a lot of these throughout the year. Obviously has a focus with the juniors and the seniors, but does try to get to 9s and 12s at least once in a year, just to talk about their interest and what their track looks like. Again, if that doesn't happen, which it should, they're more than welcome to schedule a meeting, of course, to go over that if they want more guidance.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Yana. We'll move on to Fawadi Jaz. Do you have economics as a subject in high school?
Not yet. It is something I know there is interest in this. We are considering it. Once we get to that, it's one of those courses that we have to introduce, or we'd love to introduce. But we're offering a lot at the moment. We nearly have 20 AP courses for next year. If we see some course doesn't get enough interest in it, we might take that out and then we might change it to economics. There are things as we grow as a school that we're going to try to include.
All right.
We're aspirational. We'd love to add all these classes right now, but yeah, we got to be measured in the way we grow, or it's not sustainable.
Indeed. Sounds like a business talk. Speaking of economics.
Yeah, never talking economics now.
All right. All right. So thank you, Fawadi Jaz. We're going to move now to Saad. I think it's a student. All right. I'm in Algebra 2 right now, next year. Can I take statistics in my senior year? Can I take pre-calculus?
Can I take, and in my senior, can I take? Yes, you can. Next year in 11th grade, if you finish Algebra 2, you can go straight into statistics. And then in grade 12, you can take pre-calc. Or if you want to do it the other way around, you can take pre-calc in grade 11 and you can take statistics in grade 12. Either is an option.
All right. Thank you, Saad. Stop motion. Again, at what time does the request forms open?
I will try for when I should be finished at work at 1:30 p.m. on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
So I would hope by 1:30 p.m. on Thursday. But if I'm working late, maybe, and I don't get a chance, it might be around 3 o'clock on the Thursday. But there's no rush on it. It will be open on Thursday. It's not first come, first serve, that type of thing. So don't worry about that. As soon as it's open, it's open.
That's why I laugh, because if it was first come, first serve, that's the biggest question of the night. That's exactly why I laughed.
11:59, 59.
1:59 is open though, so yeah. But it's good to say that you clarified that, but it's not first come, first serve.
Another good question.
All right. That's a very good question. Mira J, are there any entrepreneurship courses?
The entrepreneur is going to be offered 6th, 7th, and 8th grade for next year. So Miss Tracy is going to be the teacher. At the moment, we don't have it in high school, but it's a new course for next year that we're really excited about. So yes, it's in middle school.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you, Mira. Next question from Sadaf. How many electives can a middle school select? Or middle school student, I guess, select?
Yeah, so again, it goes back to that previous question. If they're Arabic and Islamic, they get to pick 2. If not, they get to pick 4.
And the only caveat to that is if a student ends up in the study seals course because they've got some catching up to do, and that will take up one of those elective slots. But it's a temporary measure, hopefully.
And we always recommend, because if you're a non-Arab student, I always recommend that you pick French or Spanish, because you're going to need that in high school. So you want to start building those skills now so that you do well in high school. So middle school students should really pick, if you're a non-Arab, you should pick French or Spanish, and then you have 3 choices. And if study skills is unfortunately one of those that you have to take, then you have 2 options. So again, it depends, a little bit of variety in it.
All right, so thank you, Sadaf. The next question, Mr. Owen. What happens if you get retained?
Sure, Delwyn's not going to be retained. He's doing well. If you are a student who gets retained and you fail 3 or more courses, you would basically just repeat the year, and you would have to do the same courses. That's essentially what would happen, unless the course has been taken away. But for most people, that shouldn't be an issue.
And we reiterate that Delwyn is not in jeopardy of being retained.
I don't think so.
Yeah, we don't think so. All right. The next question from Hydro. When will we know who our teachers are?
So again, we're currently hiring for positions for next year, growth positions. We have people always leaving. It's a transient country, Qatar, and so is the international, teaching gig. So we still have teachers being decided what they're going to be teaching and all that for next year. You might know some of your teachers. If they're returning, they're probably going to be teaching what they are now, so you can make your best guess. But you probably won't know that until August 16th.
All right. I love these questions that are coming in. I still see
we
some more. So
we got a lot of students in here tonight.
We do. That's what I do like as well. The students are here.
Saves them coming by my office tomorrow.
Yeah, that's true. All right. So Mira J again. She says, does art support interior design programs? Good question.
I would have to ask Miss LaRue. I know like the 2D art The 3D art and design AP art class may have some sort of interior design and whatnot in it. We did have a student who did the AP art program, and I think last year their program was the senior room and painting and arranging that room. So
Yeah.
that was definitely interior design, and that was used as part of their portfolio. So I'm sure there is some sort of element, but I don't know the specifics. So
Okay.
You know, that's you got to think about if you're really interested in interior design, then there's a lot of stuff in IT that goes right along with that too.
True. Think about some of the programs that they use for interior design
Yeah.
as well. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. All right. Thank you, Mira. We'll go now to Asma. Can I take AP European History in grade 11?
I'll go more into this tomorrow, but yes.
Cool. All right. Asma, for the double, is pre-algebra only for 7th graders, or can you take it in grade 6?
It's only for 7th graders. So it's basically just an advanced section of the maths program in grade 7, getting those students prepped for algebra 1. Now, students who do really well in grade 7, in the regular grade 7 maths course that year, they could still get a teacher recommendation to take algebra 1. So if they're not put into that pre-algebra class next year, don't worry, just work really hard in your grade 7 maths class and you'll get that recommendation for the algebra 1. Algebra 1 would really be the goal if you want to do well in mathematics. So whichever way you get there, that's the way to focus.
All right. So another student question from Abiha. Can I take psychology in European or modern history in grade 11?
Yeah, going into specifics now. So can I take psychology? You could take 2 social studies classes in grade 11. We've plenty of students doing it this year. You could definitely take all 3 of those subjects. I don't recommend taking 3 social studies classes in a grade 11 year. If it could work in your schedule in a weird way, but yeah, you could do some sort of mix of that for sure.
All right. Thank you, Abiha. So we have another question from Minna. I joined the school this year, grade 10. My old school is a British system, and I took biology there. If I want to take AP Bio, will I be missing any information?
That would be one that I'd have to talk to Miss Ali about because she is the AP Bio teacher. Again, I'd have to check out the school. There's a lot of. That's a very loaded question. I don't think I got the time to answer that one.
Yeah.
And then also, you'd want to look at your current science teacher. So if you're taking chemistry, you're going to want to talk to Mr. Marley and see if he thinks you're up for a high-level science class next year.
Yeah,
I agree. All right. Thank you, Minna. Haitham said, please share with us the presentation. Mr. Gregory, if he shares it with me, Haitham, I'll share it with everyone else.
I will share it with Mr. Tyler just in case, because I know he gets a lot of parents asking for this stuff. But just ask your student or your child. I'm going to share it on the advisory class on Thursday. It's part of my bulletin this week, so he'll have access to this presentation and this video. So it'll be there.
And then we'll put it in the newsletter as well, inshallah.
Yeah.
There. All right. Thank you, Haitham. And then I think this is Kaya. If I'm saying it wrong, I'm sorry. I think it's Kaya or Kaya. So my son is Muslim, but he doesn't want to take Islamic class. So is it possible for him not to take it?
Going back on what Mr. Wessel said, it depends on the passport and it depends what you've registered, especially on your QID. If it's registered in the Ministry of Education system as you're a Muslim and you come from Jordan, for example, yes, you're going to have to take Islamic and Arabic.
Okay. If anyone hears a beeping horn, somebody's really waiting for someone outside. So if you hear that, that's what you hear. Somebody's beeping the horn aggressively. Yeah, there we go. So next question for Stefan is, my son will be grade 9 next year. And if he wants to be in the AP program, what choices does he have? Good question there.
Yeah, great question. Again, I'll go into more detail about this tomorrow, but AP Human Geography is definitely one. AP Spanish Language, AP Spanish Literature, trying to think, and some of the AP Computer Principles. They're the 4 AP courses that we're going to offer in 9th grade. Again, we don't want to overload the students in grade 9. We want to give them a taste of the AP program and then sort of build them up. A lot of students regularly take it in the junior year, but I know we have a lot of advanced students. coming into grade 9 for next year and going into grade 10 or whatnot. So we wanted to offer a few APs. But the AP Human Geography has been offered for multiple years. So if he's in social studies right now and doing really well, I highly recommend doing that course as sort of an introduction to the AP. It's done well. Mr. V is going to be teaching it again next year. He's an excellent teacher. So I hope that answer helps.
All right. Thank you, Stefan. Stop motion.
Come back tomorrow night and learn more about the APs, right?
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Familiar faces, different subject tomorrow night. All right. So stop motion. PE is an elective now. So does study hall also come under that?
Oh, I should have mentioned that in the changes for next year. I don't think the study hall has been a success this year or last year. We've tried it both years in a row now with middle school. So the study hall class will actually be taken away. So we'll no longer have study hall in middle school next year.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Stop Motion. Fawad Khan. Has GEMS taught research earlier to high school?
No, we haven't. So that is where that research class that we talked as the new change for next year is going to be introduced. So even students who don't want to take an AP course, who just want to take a regular research class, that's where that's coming from. So we're hoping it's successful next year. Honestly, if I said it to Mr. Wessel earlier in the year, if I was in high school again, I would have loved to have done the seminar or the research program to prep me for university, because it has a lot of skills that helps at that third level education.
Okay, good. So thank you, Fawad. We have our upper school, high school, Wayside High School guidance counselor here, Ms. Nikisha Thomas. She was commenting on the interior design question before, so said this is a good question to ask VCU or Virginia Commonwealth University, since they have an interior design program. So something to think about. And a lot of people are interested in interior design. That's something that I hear a lot. So
it's been a lot of time indoors the last few years, huh?
Yeah, everybody thinking about how they can adorn their place, right? Their building or their home. Makes sense. All right. So thank you, Nikisha. Asil, how you doing? Will the cafeteria be open for next year? Great question. I'm looking forward to that one as well. Great question.
Inshallah.
Yeah. Hope so. That's what we're saying about that one.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Asil. Mr. Delwin, back again. If PE is in a selective class, what happens to study hall? Oh, so we already kind of answered that one.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So then we go to Mira. This is a funny one. Side question: when is Eid break?
Officially, so I don't mandate that. I think that comes from the government. But we are off. We are on school vacation from the 29th to the 8th at the moment, unless there's an update from the ministry about what dates we have if Eid is extended. But at the moment, that's our Eid break.
All right. Thank you, Mira. Now we go to Ghost. If I can take 2 social study classes, will that count as 2 credits for high school?
Yeah. Now, certain classes, some students are like, well, I can take 2 social studies in grade 11. Does that mean I don't have to take one in grade 12? Maybe is the answer. We always do recommend that you have a social studies. Certain students are also like, well, I've got my 4 maths credits. Can I not take one in grade 12? And that's more a question about what university and college you're looking at, because some universities, colleges will look for a maths class in grade 12. And if you don't have that on that transcript, it could impact your options. So we always recommend that you take at least one every year. But yes, it does count as 2 credits for high school, no matter what.
All right. Thank you, Ghost.
You don't want to get rusty.
Yeah. Listen, I loved social studies when I was in school, and I would have taken 2 if I had a chance to as well. So that's a good question there. We'll go to Yana. Second question here. Will a class descriptor be provided for each subject to clarify what courses are required before signing up for a new class? Good question.
So there is a program of studies. I'll link that. I'll make a note of that now, and I'll link it with. It might not have all of the courses, but most of the courses for next year, because we update it every August. I'll link that this week in my message in the advisory class and in Justin's parent message. But more than happy to just come and ask. Any students more than welcome to come and ask questions about it before they even fill out the form. So if there is something that you ask questions about, some of it's a lot self-explanatory, it's all been there before, but there is a program of study document that's already on the website that has a list of, has a brief snippet of what the course entails.
That's good. All right, thank you, Yana. Delwyn again. Is the schedule different or the same as the year so far?
I'm not going to answer that question because we haven't decided yet. We are working around different structures for the schedule for next year to try optimize student learning. So it is probably going to be a little bit different next year, but you're still going to have your 8 classes no matter what. That's not going to change. Just the timings might change.
All right. Thank you, Delwyn. Saad again with another question. If I'm able to finish 4 credits of science or social studies before grade 12, does that mean I get to have a free class or skip the credit in grade 12?
I can talk with Saad in person about that. But, again, it comes down to that thing of recommending, like if you're trying to apply for university and college and they see you have a half load of classes in your senior year, they're going to be going, is this student the student I want in university or college? He's taking an easy senior year and he doesn't look like he's hardworking. But you can, it is, some students will finish their credit load going into grade 12. My opinion is that you should take more courses, but, we can give you library classes or study hall classes to fill in the schedule in grade 12. I'm okay with that as long as I feel like you're, Saad, for example, is a great example of someone who contributes to the student life here at GEMS. I am happy to have that conversation with them and make that exception. But, I'll treat that as a case by case.
All right. Thank you, Saad. Abiha with another question. If I took Islamic for 2 years, do I still have to continue it?
If you're Muslim, you have to take Islamic every year.
Even to grade 12?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. All right. There you go, Abiha. There you go. All right. So stop motion again. Not related, but how long is e-break? I think we answered that one. Mr. Keisha, she said, happy to help. Thank you. Always a good help. Nicola, right? What courses are students recommended to take if they want to join in the medical field? Good question.
Mr. Wessel, you want to take that one?
Yeah, sure. I think most obvious is you're going to want to take it's science courses, and the one specifically AP biology is going to be really good. AP chemistry is going to be great, and it's going to get you ready for some of those college courses that you're going to need in the medical field. Beyond that, I'd say any medical program that you're going to go into is going to be rigorous. It's going to be challenging, and so I'd say you want to go ahead and get that rigor going right away. And so I wouldn't shy away from things like taking your high level maths, take your AP calculus, take your physics course, and just get everything in that you can. But the priority there would be AP chemistry and AP biology.
Yeah, and the other ones that you can think about, it depends on the field. Like Mr. Wessel said, AP psychology might be another interesting one to take. And again, going on that success rate and the things that we're hearing about the AP seminar and AP research program, taking those courses and getting used to studying multiple sources and putting that into, a study, those things are really critical and really important. Along with, statistics is, I'm not going to say an easy maths course, but stats can be very important in research fields. And if you're going into the medical field, statistics is definitely something I recommend if you're not interested in challenging yourself in the AP Calc.
Yeah, Mr. Gregory and I watched some of the AP research presentations with the stuff that they've been working on for the whole year. We watched some of those presentations today. I'm telling you, the skills that are gained and practiced in that class are invaluable. So really impressive stuff. So yeah, that you're absolutely right. Seminar and research would be key.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you, Nicola. We're going to go to Fardun. Why was study hall removed?
Because students don't say that. Bite my tongue here, bite my lip. but certain students are not utilizing the time. I don't feel like the middle school students have been using it correctly. A lot of students have been playing video games. We've had a lot of behavior issues within that period alone. And that's just something that we don't feel like we need to continue. We don't feel like it's been a massive benefit to the student body, so we're taking it away.
Yep. All right. Thank you, Fardan. Nakisha, this is our high school guidance counselor. Each university is different, so it's best to start research for the universities and their specific requirements. Students can utilize their Unifrog accounts to do this research. All right. So that's very important information. And I will also reiterate, like I do with parents on our tours, Ms. Thomas is an accountability partner. She will not do the work for you, right? So from the parents and the students, she'll check in with you, right? Making sure that you're following the plan that you guys have talked about, but she will not do it for you, right? It's part of the process of you doing it yourself and being accountable as a student. So just want to reiterate that. All right. So Noor, question. Will the 6-week World Cup vacation affect the AP exam schedule? Will there be online classes?
AP is so international. I don't think it's going to stop for the World Cup because it's impacting our country. But I wouldn't worry because the exam schedule is in May. We're going to be starting earlier in the school year, and we have a long stretch up to that November break. It's not ideal. Still a lot that we don't know about that vacation break. We won't be offering online classes, unfortunately, during that, as we're mandated to take that as a vacation time. But it might be a little hard pressure on the AP students, pressure-wise with class time and the AP teachers to get that content in. My recommendation then is just to make sure that you're in August, because I know the AP teachers are going to probably start straight and get through a lot of the content before that November break. And I'm sure, and this might scare some of the AP students, but I'm sure those AP teachers are probably going to give them work over that 6-week period to make sure that they're continuing, which might just be, I wouldn't recommend it in another course and regular course, but that would be something I would recommend for any AP student. They should know that they need to be responsible and independent. So the teacher is giving you work over a 6-week break. I think that's the bare minimum, really. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good point, though. I think out of all the courses, AP has to still carry on. I think it's a good point. That's a good point right there. All right. Thank you, Noor. Fardan, again, are we off on May 8th? That's a Sunday. Well, we have a regular break next week for the students. So if there is nothing extended from the Emir, then we're back on that Sunday.
Yeah.
All right. I'll see if I can give him a call myself. I'm joking.
Okay, go ahead and give him a call, Fardan. Let us know.
Right. But if all things considered, if it's not extended, then we will be back on the 8th of May, inshallah. All right. So, when will school end this year? So I can answer this one. Tuesday, the 16th of June, school will end this year.
Is it a Tuesday?
Yeah. I think it's a Tuesday this year. If you look at the 16th of June, I'm pretty sure it's a Tuesday. You can double check.
Thursday. It's a Thursday.
It's a Thursday for real? No. Yeah. Maybe I have a calendar from 2 years ago on my desk. So whatever I said, don't listen to me. It is a Thursday. Yeah, it is a Thursday. I misspoke. I think I have a calendar, old calendar. I need to get rid of that. Okay, so it's Thursday, the 16th of June. So, all right. Thank you, Nyla. And then we'll go to Hyder. Hi, is AP Biology available next year?
Yeah, it is going to be available next year. And I think I've already seen that there's another AP Biology question from Sophia Sandoval. It's going to be in 10th grade. So answer both those questions in one. AP Bio will be offered in 10th grade as an elective. All students will take chemistry as their science credit. If you want to double up in science next year and you have the space in your schedule, you can take AP Biology in 10th if you've got the teacher recommendation from Miss Ali. The reason we do that chemistry is just so that all students get, you really want to have 3 sciences when you graduate. So we always make sure that our students have bio and chem here before they go into 11th grade.
All right. Good question. All right. Sophia, I'll just put her on there because she's a great student, but we answered her question already. Ophelia, thank you for all the relevant information. It is appreciated anytime, anytime. Thank you for coming today. Then the last one, we'll close out with this one. Fawad Khan, coaching 1 and 2 sounds like good courses. Can you share some details about course outline, etc.?
I'll have to talk with Mr. Gad. He's been running it this year. I'm sure he has a course outline. I don't know if he has a course outline for coaching too. It is basically a very much hands-on sort of course where you're just helping with the PE teacher, and you help run the sports day and plan the sports day. And you do certain things next year. Hopefully, when we have our after-school activities, you'll be involved in that program and stuff. But I can get I think it's a Biha. I can get her to talk with some of the students who did the coaching this year and see if it's something they'd enjoy. I know Mr. Gad did very simple first aid training, kit training, resuscitation, those type of things, and they learned those skills as well at the beginning of the year. But it's been a real success, and the students who are in it right now really do love it. So we hope we can build on it. And again, I would recommend talking with Mr. Gad.
Yeah, and I will say I had firsthand experience with the coaching program, and it really does make a difference. These kids really enjoyed themselves when they were doing the events, and our kids are very professional. The 11th and 12th graders, I believe, who were doing it. I think it's grade 12, right? Maybe.
We let 11 and 12s.
11 and 12, okay.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like you said it yourself, it's responsible and independent kids who we want in that. It's students who we trust and feel like are professional and have that attitude. And they're the people we're happy to offer this to. It's a gifted sort of extension of what we offer at the moment.
Absolutely. And then thank you, Yana, for attending yourself as well. Appreciate it. I think this concludes our course selection process live stream. Thank you so much, Mr. Gregory. Thank you so much, Mr. Wessel, for coming today and doing this live stream. I think it's really important, and it was extra special to see the students here as well, asking questions that are needed. Any other questions that you may have, you can feel free to contact myself or the information on the screen, right? You have Mr. Gregory and Mr. Wessel's email address directly if you have any other questions outside of this live stream. What I will say is that for all the fasting Muslims, inshallah, we'll be breaking fast within a half an hour for Maghrib. So I really wish everyone well in these last few nights of Ramadan. And for all the families who are not fasting, I still wish you the best of success, as well. All right. So thank you again. Thank you for coming today. Appreciate it. And we look forward to seeing you all soon, inshallah. Have a good night, everyone. Ma salama.